In this video, we will go over the settings within WordPress. This is one of the first things that you should do whenever you first come into your WordPress site. Start at Dashboard and work your way down to Settings. And let's start with General and we'll work our way down. So what you'll see is site title, tagline. Site title, you should have entered that when you set up your website in the cPanel in your hosting, or whoever set that up for you, but you can go ahead and change it if you want. A tagline is just a couple words that describe your site, or unless you have a tagline. This is really good for search engine optimization. This will give Google or Bing the first hint of what your website is all about. This should be already filled in, and you don't want to change any of that. And then you have your website address that you're going to be using. And if it's a membership site and you want anyone to register, normally you don't want to click that because you'll get a lot of people registering that's not a member, or just registering because it's an application, or people trying to spam. So you want to change this to whatever default role you want. Usually it's subscriber. You want to change it, the time zone, to your time zone, and the date. Usually I leave the date alone. It depends on what you want to do. A lot of times I just leave the default on. If your day starts on Sunday or Monday, you can change it here, and you put your default site language on there. Okay, let's work our way to the writing. Let's go down to the next section under settings, which is writing, and I usually keep the convert emoticons like this and this. There's a picture, so if you want to put that on there, that's fine. I normally don't have the second one checked. It's all up to you. My post category is blog, so that's where all my posts go, and so that's where I point my blog into. And if you want to set your standard post format, you can. I just have it on standard. And if you want to have a mail server, you can. I don't necessarily do that. There is update services that I want to cover in another video, and this is a really good tool to get other services attention that you have a blog. So every time you post a blog, this sends out little packets of information saying, okay, I just created another blog post. So, but we'll focus on that on another video. So we're done with this reading area. Let's go under to discussion. And this is what I do. I mean, you can go through and read this, you know, if you want to attempt to notify any blogs links from the article. For example, I get a lot of pingbacks and stuff like that. So if you want to have notifications, you can. Let's see. Comment author must fill out name and email, and that's just to keep from a lot of spam coming in. Anyone can post a comment, but it is held in moderation. I do not allow comments just to automatically go on, because you don't know where the links are coming from, and if Google sees that you're just letting any website link to your site, it might damage your rankings. So I always moderate my comments before, and then I always manually improve my comments as well. Since I manually approve everything, these next couple questions or boxes don't apply to me. Avatars, if you want the avatar to show, you can. Avatars are just images. A lot of times you can upload your picture and your URL of your website, and that will be your avatar. Depending on your maximum rating, that's what your website content is all about. And most of the time, 99% of the time, is my sites are suitable for all audiences. This is a default avatar if someone doesn't upload theirs, then this mystery person will show, and you can add any of these on there. So you would save changes. Okay, let's go into media. This is where the settings, I mentioned when we were creating graphics that you can, there's a drop down menu where you can select thumbnail, medium size. Well, this is where you create all that, or where you defined what a large size is, medium, or thumbnail size. And so and optimize all my uploads into month, year, base folders if you want to do that. So this is, I usually keep it at default, but if you want to change it, that's fine. Permalinks, usually as soon as your website is created, and once you start creating your first blog post, it'll ask, did you want to change your permalinks? And you normally do, because this is the default, and Google can't really figure out what your blog post is about if it's numbers. So I always do sample post somehow with your keywords in there. And when you create a post, it automatically posts your title on there. So I would put post name in there. And here are some optional things that I don't really necessarily touch. The rest of these are plugins that I use. But those are usually in this area, this general to writing, reading, discussion, media, and permalinks. You normally don't have to edit those, but every blue moon. So